Hello. Welcome to another show of the Cab Talks Tourism. Our special guest for this show is Frances Schube.
Yes.
Schube. So, what nationality is that?
That's a good question. I married it.
Married it, okay.
41 and a half years. It's probably somewhere Russian, German, I don't know, Austrian.
No, what was your maiden name?
Siegel.
Siegel. Because, obviously I'm Tismanakis Greek and my wife
No.
is Edwards.
Oh.
So she had a tough name marrying into it as well.
I don't even know I would know how to pronounce your name right. Say it again.
Tismanakis.
Tismanakis. Okay.
Schube. I like
Schube.
that.
Yeah.
So, Frances, tell us a little about yourself, and then we're going to break into what we're here for the show for.
All right. Well, I'm going to sneak a quick plug in for the Gators. I went to University of Florida.
All right.
So, yay, we just won the tournament. But, hey, I was screaming, and I'm old, and yet I was still screaming. Florida won the basketball tournament, so that was great. I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. Went to Florida and then moved to Atlanta in 1983. So I've lived here a very long time. My degree was actually in journalism PR, so I thought I was going to have this brilliant, amazing career in PR. Not happening. And I started doing art. I just was kind of artistic-ish. And so I created my own little business painting for children and started doing myself art festivals for about 12 years. So I understood what it was like to sit under a tent in the rain, in the wind, when the elements were lousy. And after I stopped doing that, I said, what am I going to do now? And my husband's like, why don't you run an art festival? And I was like, an art festival, huh? He said, well, you know what it feels like to be an artist under there. Maybe you would be a different kind of organizer and understand what it feels like. So be careful what you wish for. Mm-hmm. And the next thing I know, I've been doing art festivals for 20-something years, producing them. So, yeah.
So that's how Splash Fest came out to be?
Yes. Actually, I did it by myself for a little while, and then my business partner came along. She was in the corporate world, and she's organized, and I'm not. And I needed someone like her. And so we've been Splash Festivals for about 17 years. Yeah.
So where was the very first one?
My first one was in historic Norcross.
Okay.
Yeah, it was small and fun and charming. And then when she came along, she's like, we need to get bigger. I'm like, okay, let's go. So the next one was in Dunwoody. And we just started growing. And now we do 7. We will have 7 this year.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's got to be something to take care of, 7 different art events, dealing with artists and getting them all into one location and doing something.
It's funny because when patrons or attendees come, the artists are just there. And in their minds, they're just there.
Yeah.
They don't see the craziness at 5 a.m. or the night before of getting them in their cars and their trailers and unloading. And I don't like my spot, and my spot is crooked, and I don't like my neighbor. And so, but, once they're there and everything's calm, that's when the excitement happens.
Well, several years ago, we tried to put together a group called Arts to Cab, and it was like herding cats. I mean, it was just almost an impossible feat. And of course, now the county's putting together an arts group, which is very exciting.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice new addition for the county. So tell us, we're here to talk about Splash Fest in Chamblee.
Yay.
So how many years, or kind of tell us about this event?
Well, I actually live in Dunwoody, but I spend as much time in Chamblee as I do at home because they're like kissing cousins, they're sister, neighbors, whatever. And I have watched Chamblee. I've lived in Dunwoody for 35 years this year, and I've watched Chamblee explode. And I just can't get over what it looks like now, the fun restaurants and the hotels and the shops and the traffic, and how amazing the homes are even. They're just beautiful, and the young families there. And I've told my business partner over the last several years, we got to do an art festival in Chamblee. This is a very happening, really cool place. And she says, well, let's go check it out. And so we met with the staff there a couple years ago and thought my fantasy would be right on Peachtree Road, right where, the old town, the historic town of Chamblee, which I guess they call downtown Chamblee. And last year was the first year. And it was incredible. The crowds were huge and they were buying, and most of the artists wanted to come back. They were like, wow, this is amazing. This year, believe it or not, it's going to be on Easter weekend.
Oh, wow.
And we were a little leery because that's a special holiday for a lot of folks. But then we thought it's a family weekend. And most people are together with their children, their grandchildren, their families. What a great weekend to do an art festival where if they want to go to church or if they want to be together on Sunday, they can, and then come on out. So Saturday, it'll be the 19th of April, and Sunday, it's 20th. We're going to start a little later on Sunday for those who are observant. So it'll be 10 to 6 on Saturday and 11 to 5 on Sunday. And we're going to hide some eggs around.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to have some inflatable rides, more for children than we have in the past. We've even expanded it this year. We're going down even further north on Peachtree Road because more artists and vendors wanted to be there.
You like that?
Yeah. And it was great because last year, the restaurants, it was one of their busiest weekends of the year, the restaurants and the stores, because they had all those crowds coming, and the restaurants were like, yay, this is really good. Do it again, do it again. So we're coming back. We're on year 2.
Well, that's great. So how do people find out about you? How do they look you up, social media?
So our website is splashfestivals.com, and it lists all the events that we do around Metro Atlanta. But we do have a very active social media presence. We've kind of grouped it all under Splash Festivals, so that way everybody can kind of see all of our events that we have. And yeah, it used to be we would individualize. Each city would have their own handle, and now we're trying to move it all together. So that people can kind of understand where we go. And we now have a lot of followers who go to a lot of our events. Our sponsors come to a lot. Our artists, I call my family. The artists like to come where we go. And so I kind of feel like our artists are our guests. Because without them, we wouldn't have a festival.
Right,
so
totally.
They mean a lot to me. As an artist myself, I care a lot about them.
So how many artists are like local and how many come from out of state?
It's a real mix. If we have, we didn't have as many local Chamblee this year. We only have a handful, but a lot live in DeKalb County. And then, of course, it goes out to Metro Atlanta and then way beyond. And then we have quite a few that are from the southeast. I think we have some that are coming even further, and they come from Ohio and lots of places because they feel like the crowds are very supportive.
So how do you, I know you're an artist yourself, but how do you get the word out to find the other artists that aren't local?
Well, it used to be I would go after them. I would spend days, hours looking online, going to shows, looking for that perfect one. And I'm very into whimsical, happy, colorful things. That's kind of my look. And now it's kind of nice. I still do that. I spend a lot of time looking still for that special someone. But now a lot of people find us through word of mouth, through social media. And I tend to describe our events as not fine art festivals, but fun art festivals.
Okay.
So we have a real mix. You could see somebody doing a beautiful painting next to someone selling homemade chocolates. So while you're, let's say you don't feel like spending a ton of money and you want to get something handmade that you just want, something little, you can get that chocolate or you can get a small bowl from a ceramic artist. But I like to have a little something for everyone.
And you say your style is whimsical.
Yeah, I just tend to like really happy, fun, cute art. That's just my look. Not everybody likes my art, but I tend to like having that feel overall. My husband years ago heard someone say one of our festivals was just too happy. And I thought, well, that's actually a compliment. I can go for that instead of very depressed.
So is it pottery? Is it painting?
We have a little of everything.
Okay.
So you'll see pottery, you'll see paintings, you'll see mixed media, you see wood, you see a lot of jewelry. And I love to promote Georgia Grown, just so that you know that. We are partners with Georgia Grown, and we get quite a few of their members who not only do culinary things, but you might see soap and candles and things like that. But Georgia Grown really matters a lot
So you're
to
dealing
us.
with, is it Cheryl at Georgia Grown?
I actually work with Matthew.
Okay.
Kalinsky is his name, who I adore, who kind of spearheads Georgia Grown. So yeah, their whole group has been great, and so that's another plus that we have working with the state of Georgia.
Yeah, that's true. I always think it's very cool to have local artists, local products. I mean, I know that Chamblee has the peanuts.
Oh yeah.
Peanut butter and all that.
Yes.
It's right there. And then they have the ice cream. It's
The
more
ice cream.
more of a factory, but they have the ice cream that the frozen caboose sells. It's come straight from Chamblee.
Yes.
So it's very cool when you can get it very local.
Oh yeah. In fact, I expect this year we're going all the way north to the Frosty Caboose. We stop right there. Before we stopped a little further south. We've added quite a few. So I can only imagine on Saturday the Frosty Caboose's line is going to be crazy.
Well, it's crazy most of the time.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
with the
crazy.
festival going on, yeah.
So, and the kids, the inflatables will be right next to that. So you can imagine kids jumping and eating ice cream all at the same time. So it should be.
Now, do you go up towards the antique road? Up
No, we don't. That's more like Broad Street. We
Right.
are strictly Peachtree Road.
strictly on Peachtree?
Yeah, so we start right at about where Vintage Pizza and the Frosty Caboose are, and then we go south to Marta. So it's a long stretch in front of those really fun, good restaurants. And we even have our own food court as well. We do have quite a few food trucks there. Just because those restaurants can only handle so much. Their lines were really long and wonderful, and we really truly want all of our shoppers to go into those restaurants because they're worth going to. But we figure some people still like festival food,
Right.
and so we've got that. We also have I call them strolling musicians, although they don't stroll; they sit. Not bands so much, but acoustical guitars, some fun singers, and that kind of adds a little energy and life to a
Almost
show.
like you're in New Orleans or
Ish, yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
With the music.
It always adds something. It's kind of fun. So, yeah.
So, do you know if you get much MARTA traffic for the festival?
You know what? We encourage it. I'm hoping this year we get even more because we're really right there.
Yeah, when you said that, it's perfect to take MARTA from.
Oh, I wish and I hope they do because you literally get off the train, you go under the tunnel and you're at the festival.
Yeah.
So make it easy on yourself because parking can be a little fun. Some people still like to park, but it is so easy. Marta's great and great partners with us as well.
Nice.
Yes.
So, any cool stories from one of your events or last year's event that you really remember?
Well, I think one of the artists who was a jeweler said, and unfortunately we're rain or shine, so we go on whether it's raining or not, but if it's really bad, if it's lightning and thundering, that kind of thing, we have to cancel it. Last year, unfortunately, we didn't have a Sunday. We only had a Saturday. And one of the artists who does jewelry said the one day on Saturday was her best show of the year.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, because it was new, and for her to do that well, that was exciting for me, and I was able to kind of tell the city, hey, you're doing something right.
Well, that's good. That's great to know.
Yeah, it made me feel good.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, because the crowds are just so supportive of their own. And you know what? The Chamblee people go to a lot of events around town, and now they've got their own.
So, are you working? Because Chamblee's got a huge art initiative itself.
Yes.
With the murals and downtown scapes and the big sculpture that's out there, probably right where you are.
Yes.
And MARTA. So, are you working like hand in hand with the vision of the city?
You know what? I don't necessarily work directly with their arts groups. However, I think that's one of the reasons that the city loves this so much because they are so into art. As you can see, I mean, we were standing there right by the bridge, and you could see like the tapestry over the bridge, and you could see all those amazing paintings. And that's when I was like, what an incredible venue. it looks like it was made for us to be there. And sometimes, in some of the festivals we have, the venue may be in a park or the venue may be on a street, which is fine. But this is a really colorful, beautiful street. And so it literally, if I could have painted a picture of what I wanted a festival to look like, this is it. And the street is flat, makes it easy for the artist. But looking around and seeing those murals, I mean, I can't wait to see what it looks like this year. Every time we come, something new and pretty has come to that street.
Yeah, because Babe Walls was just at the end of last year, doing the murals along the pathway and all that. And then we had an international artist, El Cid, come in, I believe, last year and did a mural across from City Hall behind the Gus's Chicken.
Yes.
So, and then the different artwork going up. I mean, Chamblee, I've been here 14 years, and the downtown is just completely transformed. But really, the art in the last couple of years has really transformed Chamblee.
I mean, even our artists mentioned it. They're like, a lot of them hadn't been to Chamblee ever, or were just, hadn't been there in a while. And they come there and they're like, wow, this city is, I'm looking at the images now, and you just don't see that everywhere. And, it
really has transformed the feel of the city. And just like right there, you're taking this kind of dreary underpass and turned it into something vibrant and beautiful.
It is like, I want to say magical. It's turned magical. And it's just so pretty to be there. I mean, eating at those restaurants now, you don't know where you are. It's just, we're in Chamblee. Come visit. Come be here. Come live here. And I just look at all the people who are trying to live in Chamblee. I even look at those amazing apartments that are there.
Right.
The luxury apartments. I just feel like I'm in some cool, hip, in-town place, and it's Chamblee, and yay for Chamblee. They've done a really, really good job of planning their city.
They really have.
It's very evident.
It is a phenomenal city. It's pretty fast-paced. It's slow, but still kind of fast-paced.
Yeah. So
it's very cool. So, what do you think is going to be the future for your event?
I just hope it gets bigger and bigger. I just, a fantasy would be to keep on going north on Peachtree all the way to City Hall. We're getting close. And I want the crowds to keep coming, and I want them to see how easy it is to get there through MARTA. I mean, really easy.
Right.
And I want them to keep coming to see those restaurants. The restaurants are amazing, and there's some really wonderful hotels nearby. So if people, artists, and shoppers want to come, stay at the hotels. It's so easy. And there are parking places. There are all these great little hidden gems of parking places, but jump on MARTA, make it easy. So I envision it to be one of our bigger ones as we go along. We run a lot of art festivals, and I would like it to be one of the ones that people talk about. And we're getting there. So I'm just excited that it's here, too. And I hope Mother Nature is nice to us this year.
Yeah, with hotels, you can just stay right on Claremont, right off 85, and stay at the Marriott Century Center, or you can go up to the new Courtyard right off of 285. So.
Oh, I live right there. That is the prettiest place. Yeah, and it is, minutes from the show. So.
And what's really cool at that one, too, is you have the rooftop bar restaurant.
Yes.
So you can sit up there and take in all of Atlanta, take in DeKalb in that location, and just be minutes to the arts.
Yeah, I actually live in DeKalb County too, and I live minutes from that hotel too, so I've watched it bloom and blossom as well, and it's nice to have a really pretty place right down the street.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
I'd like to ask this to everybody that's on the show. If you have a visitor or if you have a family member coming into town and they say, what's the one or two must see, must do, or must eat, whatever, in DeKalb, what would you tell them to do?
Gosh, and I live there. So, I think I'm probably spoiled because I've lived in DeKalb for 35 years, probably even longer than that. If it was, if they had an all day, I'd say go to Stone Mountain because it's beautiful. If it's just food, you can go up and down Beaufort Highway
Right.
You could even go up and down Claremont. Oh my goodness. I mean, they're just one restaurant after the other. And even in Chamblee, I get to explore new things all the time. But even if you want to just go to the DeKalb airport, the small airport, it's fun. They have a rooftop restaurant right there. And you can sit there. In fact,
they have downwind.
Downwind. You could sit there and watch planes and have your children play. They have a playground and eat there. I know it sounds like, who cares? But it is really fun. We've done that with our grandchild. So there are things right here that you don't even have to go very far. That, the shopping is great. The restaurants are great. Why do you have to leave? Love DeKalb. Yep.
That's true.
Yep.
Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I want to just tell people to make sure they come. Plan on, if you want to come on Saturday because you have Easter plans Sunday, that's great. If not, and you do have Easter plans, come afterwards. Come and enjoy it. There's, family fun things to do, and there's really great art for all price ranges, just everything to look for. And there are going to be over 100 artists. And, it's a fun stroll, and I really, really hope you come out and say a few prayers to Mother Nature this year, like I say, and hopefully we'll have 2 great days.
Now, if they want to find you again, how do they find you?
They can look us up under splashfestivals.com.
Splashfestivals.com.
Yes.
And Easter weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, the
Downtown
19th and 20th.
Chamblee.
Yes.
Great. Well, thank you for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it too.
And please sure to tune in to our next show.